All units, good job. Follow-up operations will be discussed at HQ.
Nell, you were right. I'm sorry.
I'm just glad you made it back safely. Now comes the difficult part.
I honestly don't know what to think. I've never had so many questions following a successful operation. To think that there are Vulgus in Sigma Sector. Not to mention the astounding data left behind by the Medical Corps. Analysis of their findings indicates that of the people that went missing, those who had RK were identified and transported to Sigma Sector. Karel, what the hell are you planning?
All clear.
It's time we viewed Sigma Sector with our own eyes, not just through the eye of truth. Don't worry, Captain Harris has already found a safe way into the sector. Thanks to our recent observations, we've learned that the interior of Sigma Sector has been significantly transformed over time. If we can survive the void storms with a tactical transport equipped with anti-void shields, we can get inside Sigma Sector. The Vulgus likely use the same method. But we'll need a tactical transport to get out of Sigma Sector as well. Which means the time we have for the operation is limited to the amount of time that the tactical transport can stay airborne within the sector. We have no choice but to expand our reach a little at a time. But if we don't move forward at all, we'll never uncover Karel's plan. I will be counting on you, Descendant.
Harris, what's the status of the tactical transport?
Well, if Dr. Elias could lower her weapon, I might be able to focus a little better.
What? What does that mean? Clay, respond.
Stay back, everyone. You said this transport was ready to go. Give it to me, and you can go fix the others.
Just calm down. Lower your weapon and control your hair, and let's talk, okay?
My daughter's life is at stake. I told you I don't have time to wait.
There's no guarantee she's even there. Daya didn't have RK.
Shut up, Harris!
Clay.
Ajax. I didn't think you'd try to stop me, too. If you hadn't given Daya that recommendation letter in the first place, none of this would have happened. Even when you knew what happened to my husband, you had to help me lose Daya, too? Is this that faith you're so fond of talking about? You failed to protect anyone, even with that mighty barrier of yours. Step aside now, and I'll allow you to protect your own life.
Clay, I'm not here to stop you. I've come to ask your permission to come with you. If it's to find Daya, I'll sacrifice my own life to help. Just, can you give me some time to prepare so that I can be of more use to you?
You want to help me?
Yes. Any way you see fit.
All right. Yes. I want you to feel the pain my family felt. HQ, send me and Ajax in first. Then this can all be over.
Request granted. When the tactical transport is ready, you can deploy to the front line.
Thank you, Clay.
Nell, Transport 7 is ready to launch. I'll be handing over transport controls to the Descendants.
Understood, Captain. You may proceed.
Keep it short and sweet. Whew. Overhauling all the transport vehicles on such short notice? I thought I wouldn't have it done in time. Pads, so you don't have to land the transport on entry and exit. That'll mean it's more likely to survive. Everything should be fine as long as you're careful, Descendant. Look after yourself. And Glay, I hope she can find something. Anything.
Descendant, are you really going? Hold it right there. You have something to ask of the great Reyna? Wow. Sending a person into Sigma Sector? We haven't been able to deploy even an exploration drone there. And now this? Am I dreaming, or is this real? Descendant, if you happen to stumble upon any of those old amorphous relics out there, mind bringing them back when the mission's over? Anything you can find. You hear me? Even a scrap of paper will do. As long as we can properly restore it, it'll be worth its weight in archaeological gold. Imagine finding a teacup smeared with an ancestor's DNA. Or better yet, stumbling upon some kind of powerful primordial arche. Now that'd be like hitting the cosmic jackpot without even buying a ticket. And for descendants who bring back relics, I've got something way better than a lottery ticket. All those strategic supplies our excavation teams have been gathering from all over Ingress, I'll hand them over on the spot. No complicated transfer procedure required. I'm sorry for asking you to take on this risky mission, but the value of the relics deposited in Sigma Sector is beyond comprehension. They're almost as valuable as the Iron Heart. But don't push yourself too hard. Got it? If you end up becoming a relic yourself, we'd be in real hot water. So promise me you'll take care, all right?
That scared me half to death. If she'd gone on a rampage, no one would have been able to stop her.
It's all my fault. Now, you know what I'm capable of. And it was, as she said, I'm to blame for Glay's tragedy and grief. I used to think that anyone who could hold a weapon should fight for humanity. When I was an active soldier, I wanted to meet people who were as brave as I was. Then, as a military professor, I wanted to pass my knowledge on to the next generation. In that sense, Daya was my best student. I thought she was a young woman who could lead the future of humanity. But Daya wasn't required to join the military. Glay was already serving and saving lives, so Daya was granted an exemption. But she refused to stay in Albion and be safe. She wanted to be a soldier like her friends, her classmates, and her father who died in combat. I admired her passion, and so I made the most foolish mistake possible. I believed her when she said she'd discussed it with Glay, and I wrote her a letter of recommendation for the military academy. By the time Glay returned from the battlefield, it was too late. The administration could not reverse Daya's enlistment. The cadets had already been deployed to field units to train on the front line, and Daya was among them. After that, well, you know the story well enough. Glay went looking for Daya. They were both ambushed by the Vulgus and kidnapped. Glay managed to awaken her arche and escape the Vulgus, but because it was the first time she'd triggered her rage frenzy, she lost control of her senses and didn't take Daya with her. It would have been nice if Daya had awakened her arche as well, but that's wishful thinking. Daya had been tested for arche dozens of times. Glay's hope that Daya was sent to Sigma Sector is probably unfounded, but that doesn't mean a parent shouldn't search every last place they can for their child. Glay needs to do this to find closure, and I have to atone for the mistakes I made which have caused so much pain to the Elias family. Glay and I will be at the Vanguard. I'm just sorry I won't be able to say goodbye to Aisha. But I suppose it was the same for Clay. I need to remember that.
Descendant Corps, this is HQ. Your tactical transport is cleared for takeoff. Operation Sigma Sector is go. I repeat, Operation Sigma Sector is go.
It's time. I'll move out first.